Well, here we are on day one, spawning around a nice little mountain biome, and I noticed we had a beautiful looking village over in the center with a blacksmith, which I would definitely head to first. I ran straight over with my heart excited to see what I was going to find in the chest. I ran inside, opened up the chest, and to my surprise, it wasn't too bad. Got a little bit of iron, a little bit of armor, and it was a decent start. I grabbed some furnaces, grabbed some supplies, chopped down a little bit of wood, and I was ready to go. I then murdered an innocent sheep because I needed the food, and set out on an adventure, which I then hit the jackpot. These are the mountain biomes, hidden with lots of iron and coal, and I knew I was about to have a good time. Until disaster struck. I began falling deep down into the snow. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how the snow worked. I tried to swim my way out, but I just kept getting further and further down the hole. I tried mining the snow, but nothing was working, and I was losing hearts rapidly. Eventually, I figured out how to get out, and I began mining out the snow as I was still losing hearts. I saw the sunlight, and I thought I was free, so I fell down again. Eventually, I found my way out, built out, and I was back on my adventure. I then began mining all the ores I could find, as I did not like going down in caves, so this would be the perfect start to get my hands on coal and iron. I spent maybe the next 30 minutes down here getting all the coal and iron I could possibly need for the next days, even weeks, because I did not want to have to go down caves and risk the chance of me dying and losing it all. After I was done, I found a forest biome, and I was in good luck because there were no trees around. So excited to see millions of trees, I ran down, murdered an innocent family of pigs, and began chopping down trees, as I would need a lot of wood for my project. After chopping down as many trees as I could find, I then began to head back to base, where I'd begin the next project, which we would call home. But on my way back, I managed to find these nice spruce trees, which I would mine home, grab the saplings, and plant them back at the base. As I was heading back though, I could not resist a taste of the green emeralds. I just had to get some. As I was heading back, I realized how much land I had around this village, and instantly thought of all the possibilities this land holds. I came back to the village and became roommates with this new villager. Hopefully he doesn't mind, but doesn't matter because I'm not moving out. I then began to dig out the space I needed for my house, as this was going to be a pretty big house as a starter house. Removed all the grass, somehow got a stack of flowers, which I did not want, and I'll be honest, they were a little bit ugly. I then began building the frame of my house. This was going to be roughly a 20 by 20 area, so lots of digging and placing was needed. Once the framing was almost done, I began planting 40 saplings worth of trees, which was hopefully all I needed to finish this house. I then set out on another journey, looking for water. I noticed in my area that there was not a single supply of infinite water, so I knew exactly what I had to do. I searched long, and I searched far, but eventually my eyes met with the water, and I was so excited. Once I got all this water, it meant I could set up a farm, and then get wheat, and then breed cows. It was exactly what I needed, and I couldn't resist helping myself to a little bit of sand while I was there. When I headed back though, it was nearing nighttime, and this is when all the dangers come out. Skeletons, creepers. I almost lost my life here with 4 creepers around the corner and skeletons willing to shoot me right off the cliff. It was dreadful, but I put my boots on and sprinted all the way back home and had a sleep. Bright and early on the next day, I got out and took down some zombies while setting myself on fire, but it was okay because the villagers were safe. At this point, I realized I needed a full set of armor if I was going to be safe from all these monsters. Then, for the next 30 minutes, I began building a fence around my house, as I didn't want any zombies to get in. However, this was not the case for the near future. After that, I decided to chop down more trees as I was in dire need of more wood, as this house was using a lot more wood than I had expected. Once chopping back the trees, I took down a mighty creeper, saved myself the explosion, and it was all good. Continued up the framing of the house, making sure all the measurements were okay, and then we got to work. I began building a bridge here, as I thought it would be a cool little element to my house if I had a flowing pond underneath. Midway through my building, I found an innocent wandering trader, checked his trades, and they were so bad, I wanted to kill him. I did, however the llamas were not very happy with me. I took out the llamas, and was back to building the house. I then began building the roof, which is notoriously not a fun part of building a house, but I powered through, and in the end, the roof wasn't too bad. I decided to add a little chimney for a little bit of a nice effect, and it turned out to be simple, yet elegant. Once all that was done, I used my lanterns to light up my house so no mobs could spawn inside and attack me by surprise. Then I started digging out the area for my artificial pond. Eventually, I have an idea to fill this pond with fish and maybe some other koi pond things, but for now, it would just be 1 block deep filled with water. I then began filling in the inside of the house, adding some glass windows so I could have a good look on the mobs outside. I then made a farm so I could get some wheat and eventually start breeding animals that I would need to complete the game. I set up a few decorations around the house, some more lanterns, some artificial grass, even some leaves from the trees that began to add a nice little feel to the house and block off any way for skeletons to shoot inside. I then added some trapdoors to the bridge for more decoration, and it didn't look too bad if I do say so myself. I added in a second floor, which was going to prove to be a little basement in the near future. And then, this is where disaster struck. I was just taking my time, building a little flower pot, when the unimaginable happened. I turned around and there were 10 zombies right behind me, trying to kill me. I had never seen anything like this ever before. I was instantly starstruck. I didn't know what to do. As they started climbing the fence, I knew this was going to go bad. A few zombies fell off, and I saw that this was my chance to attack. I started swinging my iron sword and managed to take one of them out. I was feeling confident, so I went in the middle, and this is where my heart went down. Instantly, within seconds, I had lost half my health. I retreated back inside my house where I had to find my food and restore my health rapidly, otherwise this was going to be the end. The zombies came around the corner. I swung at them with my sword. I managed to take out 2, then 3, then 4. I ran outside and saw that there were zombies trying to get into the village house. I instantly distracted them, saving the villagers, and took out the zombies. Yet, I was risking my life. I took out the creeper, thought that was the end of it. But 6 more zombies came around the corner. I didn't know where these guys were coming from. They were just popping out left, right, and center. I had never seen anything like this before. I started swinging at them, when instantly, a creeper explosion goes off. This was bad. These mobs were coming out of nowhere, and I was not prepared. Eventually, I took them all out, and it was back to being safe again. I took a moment to comprehend what had just happened. In my 5 years of Minecraft, I had never seen anything like that. Then, I added some more torches to my base to make sure that this would never happen again. Added a front door so I had a place to hide. Made a few more touch-ups to my house. And just like that, the house was complete. A solid day's work, and that was episode 1 completed.